Hi lovelies, so welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright lovelies, let's dive into this video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where pan-colored people are actually reacting to the fact that their DNA are from the Neanderthals. I'm just gonna roll a clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into it.
My God. So someone asked if I could do a video on Neanderthals. And I think I already did this video like twice already in the past, but I'll just do it again. Alright, so as y'all should know, scientists have found a new DNA called the Neanderthal DNA. And them finding out this DNA just proved that the stories of the Bible are actually true. See, if y'all have read the book of Enoch, y'all will see how Neanderthals came to be. The Enoch book is a lost book of the Bible. And there's also many, and I mean many books that have been taken out of the Bible. But if you read the book of Enoch, it will tell you how Neanderthals came to be and where this Neanderthal DNA came from. Also, scientists also tells you that every race contains Neanderthal DNA, except for one race, African modern descendants, aka black people. Scientists don't even realize that they're proving even more why black people are actually the true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, the real Jews. One of the scientists was also caught saying that African modern descendants are actually the pure humans of the world. And that's not coming from me. They said that. And also, if you read the Bible, you will actually know that black people were the first creation. And no, this video isn't about race baiting or anything. It's all about telling the truth. So the Neanderthals came from giants. And the giants came from Nephilims. And the Nephilims came from the fallen angels. See, the Bible speaks about that the fallen angels were supposed to be protecting the humans. But instead, they began to fancy them. And they began to do sexual activities with the women and men. And when the fallen angels began to have sexual activity with the men and women, they created their own offsprings, called Nephilims. And when the Nephilims began to have children, they created the giants, like those of Goliath. And when the giants began to have kids, they created Neanderthals. See, when the fallen angels began to lay with the men and women, the humans, they created these different type of beings, which is sort of half human and half fallen angel. It mixed up the two DNAs. See, the Neanderthal skin couldn't be exposed to the sun, so they had to move to a colder climate. And guess where that was? AKA the Caucasus Mountains, which is where they got the word Caucasians from. See, these Neanderthal skin grew lighter and lighter, which created the lighter skin pigmentation, which a lot of these races and ethnicities carry till this day. That's why you will see till this day that a lot of people will say that the whiter skin pigmentation or the paler skins, that it's a mutation. Because everyone in the world was melanated at one point. That's why it's kind of crazy when I be seeing people argue about which land is theirs. This is our land. This is our land. Y'all don't even realize that all these lands originally started with all black people on them. Every Afro person in every part of anybody's land, Afro-Hispanics, Afro-Palestinians, wherever you are, any Afro person is the original people of that land. And it's crazy because black people get done the worst anywhere they go. And y'all don't even realize that that's really your land. But like I said in another video, y'all don't understand that that was one of the curses put upon us all as a people, along with many more curses. And this video was just about telling everybody the truth. I love you all, and let the truth set you free.
Realize we old timers, we grew up. If you called someone Neanderthal, that was an insult. Do you realize that the most racist scientific community ever were 19th century anthropologists. They're the ones that set up the race and the this, and white male humans were at the top of the evolutionary ladder, and blacks and everybody else were lower, still evolving, closer to the apes. So watch what happens. In the 1990s, now that we can do genetic tracking and things, the world found out that Europeans are between 1 and 3% Neanderthal, and Africans are 0% Neanderthal. So in the 1990s, research papers started coming out talking about how creative and imaginative the Neanderthals must have been and how they used tools. A complete facelift of the Neanderthal.
I looked at some pictures of some Neanderthals, and honestly, if I look at you, kind of similar. If I look at myself, not really at all.
First of all, that's a very stupid thing to say, because it just sounds how dumb and how uninformed you are. Because Neanderthals existed in the Eurasia region, Europe, Asia. If you do some DNA analysis on me,
Yeah.
guess the amount of Neanderthal traits you find in me. 0.
Yeah,
But-
I read.
But Europeans, they have 3 to 5%.
Maybe 2%.
3 to 5%.
Asians have more, but Europeans have like tops 2. But I read about that. It doesn't mean that no Africans have it.
Homo sapiens,
if you read about
Homo
it.
sapiens existed in Africa 300,000 years ago. And the world today is dominated by Homo sapiens.
Yeah,
There are no Neanderthals.
that's true.
Neanderthals are extinct.
They bred with
Homo
each
sapiens
other.
interbreeded with
Yeah.
Neanderthals to form you guys. So if it wasn't for Africans like myself, you would have been extinct too with the Neanderthals.
But we're all human today, right? We go under the same
Thanks to
race.
Africa, thanks to me, thanks to my ancestors.
As you wish.
They bred with Africans to form you guys. That is why you are existing today. Without that interbreeding, oh my God, the world would have been a better place.
You should know by now that I don't give a fuck. I put in work, watch my money piling up.
Neanderthals were another species of human that our species, sapiens, interbred with over 40,000 years ago. And today, almost everyone watching this video has some admixture from Neanderthals from a hybrid in your family tree. But does everyone? This admixture is very obvious in populations outside of Africa. But what about inside of Africa? This story gets much more complex. In 2011, a paper was published that determined none of this Neanderthal admixture was within Africa. And that makes sense, because Neanderthals and sapiens last shared a common ancestor over 500,000 years ago, and as the climate changed, that ancestor, their population diverged. Sapiens emerged from the population south in Africa, Neanderthals from up north. So the simple story is that when our species left Africa around 70,000 years ago, some of them came into contact with those Neanderthals, hybridized, and that's where the admixture comes from. It makes sense that these populations, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, would not have that. But science progresses, and in 2013, scientists actually got a high-coverage genome of a Neanderthal for the first time. High-coverage genomes are substantial. It's a big deal. It's a much bigger deal than a low-coverage genome. Then, in 2020, a paper used that high-coverage genome as the reference genome to once again test and see if all populations may have DNA from Neanderthals. Surprisingly, they did find this evidence in all of the populations they tested, and they found that sub-Saharan Africa populations have as much as 0.3% of their genome from Neanderthals, still quite a bit less than populations out of Africa, but some. And they explained that as populations moving back into Africa from Eurasia over the last 20,000 years. So at that point, our understanding was that all humans, all modern humans, had some of this admixture. But then we have a paper in 2023, and this is where things get even more complex, and where I have, as of today, had to change my understanding of things. This paper looked at more populations within sub-Saharan Africa, but they also looked at it at a scope, a higher level of detail than the earlier study could. Technology advances, science progresses. They looked at even more populations within sub-Saharan Africa, and they found that these populations, if there was a little bit even of admixture in their past from non-sub-Saharan Africa populations, they had as much as 1% Neanderthal DNA. But some of the more isolated populations, there was something even stranger going on. They did have DNA that we consider homologous with Neanderthals, but that admixture actually came from sapiens and then went into Neanderthals. And the really crazy part is that that occurred around 250,000 years ago. all sapiens today share a common ancestor that existed in Africa around 120,000 years ago. So these were really ancient excursions out of Africa where admixture was swapped, and then those populations of sapiens seem to have gone extinct out of Africa. They didn't incorporate anything into the current gene pool, but they did incorporate it into the Neanderthals, and the Neanderthals incorporated it back into some sapiens. But because those sapiens were so ancient, that DNA that looked like it came from Neanderthals but actually came from ancient sapiens is what they were seeing in these sub-Saharan African populations. So I've been saying on here that the evidence suggests all sapiens have some admixture from Neanderthals, but I think it's time to say that we may have moved past that idea, as newer models showed there was some more complexity there.
Now, I'm not going to fault you for saying this, because I understand that there's a lot of lies on the internet, and a lot of them seem pretty convincing a lot of the time. Conspiracy theorists will run with a grain of truth and then just insert all kinds of things with nefarious purposes. So here's the nugget of truth in this statement. Europeans and their descendants have a higher percentage of DNA that matches with the Neanderthal genome than other ethnicities. Broadly, for Europeans, it's about 3 to 4%, and for other races, it's anywhere between 1 and 3%. But this is not because white people are Neanderthals. And Neanderthals actually were a very intelligent species, very close to humans. It's just that humans had enough advantages. For a long time, the leading theory was that humans, Homo sapiens, basically just outbred and possibly even killed off the Neanderthals. But now we believe it's something different. There is the fact that we probably outbred them, but also we probably bred with them. It seems that, especially on the European continent, but also elsewhere, Homo sapiens and Homo neanderthalensis, and if I remember correctly, it's actually been reclassified as Homo sapiens sapiens, us Cro-Magnons, and Homo sapiens neanderthalensis, which is the Neanderthals. But I could be wrong about that. If I am, go ahead and correct me. But yeah, the accepted, I wouldn't say accepted, but the leading theory right now is that Homo sapiens sapiens was able to just outpace Neanderthals and either outbreed them or mix them into their own gene pool. But these kinds of comments are why I don't like identitarianism of any kind. We are all one race. We are all humans. We have different cultures and different ethnicities and different backgrounds, and that is beautiful. And it's part of what I love so much about living in America. We have this great ethnic and cultural melting pot where people from all over the world have come together to bring the best parts of what makes them them and share them with everybody. I love that I can wear a shirt made with dyes from Africa while eating a plate of Indian food and listening to Celtic folk music. That is such an incredible milestone of human society that we are able to peacefully share our cultures with one another and appreciate one another. But beliefs like this, conspiracies like this, that white people aren't human, that's a step backwards. We shouldn't be othering one another. We shouldn't be grouping back together into our own little skin color-based clans and hating everybody else who isn't part of that. For a long time now, we as a society have been moving towards a world where we can appreciate and enjoy one another and really see the best in each other. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's amazing. But conspiracy theories and pseudoscience like this, it's not doing the right thing. It might feel good to tell somebody who historically their people have oppressed your people that they're less than you, but that's not good for anybody. That's not doing anything good for society, whether you're white, black, brown, purple, I don't care. We're all human beings, and we should celebrate our differences, not use them as clubs to hit each other with.
Just got me 23andMe results back. I'm 1.4% French and 2% Neanderthal.
Oh, that's
which
a
means
lot of
I'm more non-human than I am French.
Which is insane.
It said I am 61% more Neanderthal than the average person.
So somewhere down the line, Amy's granddad shagged the Neanderthal.
Or got shagged.
Like, this is sometimes it's kind of funny. Like, the people that is not even 100% human, decide to keep dragging what is not theirs. Like, sometimes I just, came to realize that the real owners of the land all over the world, or the real owners of anywhere in the world, are actually melanated people, because they were the first people to have been existed in the world. Like, they existed first, before the fallen angels, before the whatever creations, and comes the Neanderthals, who till today still feels that they own particular place which other people, don't own. The people you keep on fighting, keep on trying to being discriminatory against, are actually the owners of what you are occupying. Like, there is a video which I wish that this particular man that made that video will actually Google and know his own history. This pan-colored man took to the internet and was bragging and talking about how Black Americans often claim that they built US, that they built America and all of that. He went ahead to talk about how they never built America. They never built it in any sort of way. That if they happen to be the one that built everything that is being, in America today, that they should go back to Africa and build Africa the way that they felt that they built this, that they never built nothing. And this actually got a lot of people reacting. If only this man or the pan-colored man knew that the land he so claimed that is their land, that happens to be US we know today, is not actually their land. It is owned by the natives. It is owned by the first people that God created. It is not owned by them. They were also, they are visitors. They visited and stole people's land. They don't own anything for themselves. Like, you just visited someone's land, you try to create chaos, probably do some kind of dubious, thing that you did, and took away these people's land. Now you are claiming that this land does not belong to you. You should go back to your... Which land are they going back to? This is their land. This is their land. You are the visitor. You are supposed to go back to the mountains or something, or wherever the Neanderthals are. Seriously. Sometimes we keep on, saying things that we do not even understand. That's why I try as much as I can to keep on, digging, asking questions, and trying to, so that we all can just be in the same page. So when I saw that video that I just talked about concerning this pan-colored man telling these people to go back to Africa and build, you never build. I was like, you don't even own the land that you were talking about. So before the DNA, was all over the place, anyone that was called a Neanderthal, is kind of an insult and whatever. And now, after these pan-colored people have found out that they have about, 4 to 1% Neanderthals in their DNA, now they're trying to change the narrative that, that is why they are smart. That is why they can, create whatever they want to create without even knowing that most of the things, they feel they are smart to do are also learned from these humans. Seriously, anything that will just still make them to be superior, anything that will just still make them to be at the top of the game. They just don't want to be at the bottom. These people are just power hungry people. Seriously, not all of them. There are so many, pan-colored people who are getting themselves educated, and sometimes I just feel at peace with myself, if the world can actually see it with on their own perspectives. Seriously. And this other lady that is trying to I don't know if he's trying to mock the black guy, that he actually looks like Neanderthal, not her, without even realizing that her ancestors probably came from the Neanderthals. Seriously, these people be doing the most, thinking that, you are the... We are actually the chosen one, and this has been known for a very long time, even before our parents and grandparents were born. But they chose to hide so many things from us. They chose to hide or strip out so many verses from the Bible. Look at the book of Enoch. There are so many books in the Bible that is just out. That is why
we wouldn't just keep reading beyond what we see in King James, the normal Bible we have. We should actually, read broadly the book of Enoch, other books, and all of that. Anyways, lovelies, why not just, leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. I want to use this medium to say a very big shout out to my newest subscribers, to those people that share my videos, to people that actually leave comment, that educate myself. Sometimes there are things I see, I try to stitch the videos, and when I stitch, a lot of people engage and, educate me more. And sometimes I even realize that, wow, I'm learning more from you guys. Like, thank you so much for all the knowledge you're impacting on me. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. And to those people that join my membership, thank you. And you that gifted me, oh my God, thank you for all the love and support. And I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the
If you
next
have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please, share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. And I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.